Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's so great to be with you guys again. I'm so excited. How are you doing this morning? It's your girl Janine with Symphony Reads, and we are on all platforms. We are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, of course, YouTube. Um, and I'm trying to think, am I missing anything? I'm not on, yeah, I think those are the three that we're on right now. So, we would love it if you would just connect with us. You can do that by sending us an email at symphonyreads with an S at gmail.com. Or you can give us a call, leave us a message if we are not answering the phone at that particular moment in time. And that's 240-681-9255. Nope, see, 9275. Sometimes I read my numbers backwards. I apologize. So that's 240-681-9275. And as always, we're on Facebook, and that's you can look us up as Symphony Reads Ministry. We also have the private closed prayer group for those who just want to be uplifting and encouraging to others through prayer. And we pray for one another. We pray for situations that are happening in each and every bit of our lives and other people's lives as well. Um, we learn something about prayer. I may find like a quote or something about prayer, or a passage of scripture about prayer, and just we just stay deeply connected in prayer. Um, we always encourage prayer on private and on a communal as well. And so check us out there, and always, leave a comment for my YouTubers. Always leave us a comment and let us know that you're there, and connect, subscribe. We would love for you to subscribe. So yeah, so that's Symphony Reads. That's Symphony Reads. So what's going on. I did a video yesterday, and it was just honestly more so about let's stay encouraged, let's stay build up. And I feel like I still need to just check in a little bit more regular, because a lot of people's emotions are just really high right now. Things are happening all over the world. I just heard, I got the message that two more people that I know have lost loved ones to COVID-19 virus. Some people are feeling really hopeless and just alone, and their mental health is not in the best state. Um, and it's just a lot. I think everyone is going through on some level, no matter how big or how small. On some level, I think everyone is going through. You have those who don't like to be alone, but we're kind of stuck in our houses, so um, they feel a little bit more alone than normal. And then you have those who don't mind that they're in the house alone, but still at some point, they're missing that human touch, and that's what bothers them the most there. And I mean, so I hear a lot of everything, and I just want to really just encourage you. Symphony Reads wants to encourage you, because we're going to go through life struggles. This right here is just another one of those life struggles, and it's about what you do with it, you know, and how you choose to want to see it. Some people have gone, doom and gloom. We're all gonna pretty much die today or tomorrow. So, something like that, very doom and gloom. And, you know, um, some people, says, but, this is just a passing, and the best is yet to come. And I mean, um, but in all of that, during my prayer time, I, kind of was thinking, and, you know, what came up in prayer time today was the power of the tongue, and how we choose to use the power of the tongue. And I probably discussed this before, but in looking at Proverbs 18, 21, it says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit." And I thought about that, and death or life, good or bad, evil or good, that's all a choice that I think we make, each and every one of us. We could, I've seen people look at the same situation, and I've seen in that same situation two totally different views of the situation. You know, um, People speaking real bad, real negative about it, and then people finding the good within it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you now, a situation can be really screwed up. And it's not even when I say it's your choice of how you look at it. Just because the situation is screwed up, if that makes any sense, doesn't mean that you still have to take it to a very evil place. You know what I mean? And, I think in everything, there's just learning involved. And, so if we want to continue to see it negatively and take it to a bad place in a situation, that, you know, or if you choose to say, you know what, I'm going to take the high road, and yeah, the situation was screwed up, but, you know, I learned that I just can't do certain things, or, whatever it may be, and, take the hot road of something. So, that's just kind of where my thought patterns was going, because I think in my life there has been times when I just always just saw the bad and never wanted to see the good in anything. And it's almost like I was speaking curses over my life. In this, like, I'm just never going to amount to anything. I'm always going to be this way. And why woe is me? When that's what I mean. And, we don't realize how powerful those words that we say can start to manifest in our lives. you know and it got to the point where I would talk so worthless about myself, and just worthless. Like, Janine, you're just so worthless. Oh, you're not smart enough. You can't do this. You can't do that. I don't believe. Why were you born? I mean, yeah, I would give myself the ringer, and I can't believe how stupid. I will always call myself stupid. You're so poor. Oh my goodness, you're getting so fat. I mean, I would just put myself through the ringer. And I was saying all of these things, and then slowly but surely, because it was something, it was like a daily dose of this, I was feeding myself every single day for months, years, and then when it started to manifest itself in my life, that I was worthless, that, I was not as smart as other people, that I was overweight, that stuff started to come to pass. I started living my life in such a way that it was literally start to show in my life on different levels. And when I read this passage, wow, look at the authority I gave bad stuff. And I spoke it every day. I'm not going to talk about nobody else. I can only talk about myself. I spoke this literally every day in some fashion or form. And I think, we can and it just, yeah, in some fashion or form, I was doing that, and then, and it was almost like, wow, well, this happened, so that justified what I just said. I wasted years doing that, wasted years. So I've learned, and in watching what I say, I've learned, I didn't have to think that way. I've always thought of myself as a good person. I always felt like I surrounded myself with good people, very, very wise people in their own right and in their own way. I've always felt like surrounded, and I always felt like my inner core was very grounded and, rounded, and very wise, you know, um, and very wise. So I always felt like within that inner core, if I really sought out counsel, advice, I would get sound, you know what I'm saying? Sound advice, and not, just kind of a twisted type of advice, if that makes any sense. So I've always felt like I've surrounded myself, but at times I always felt like I just was never on that inner core circles level, because I put myself so just like down, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm so bad, I guess, if I'm so bad, then I wouldn't produce good fruit around me, period. Bad fruit is not going to produce anything good. Good fruit is not going to produce something bad. And that's something I had to really realize in my life. I had started to look at the fruit around me that I surrounded myself with. And I go, Janine, stop putting yourself on a bad tree when everything around you is good. Why are you separating yourself from that? Now, that's not to say that none of us in my circle or not, we don't have things that we need to work on, and it's like they're just so perfect, and that's not where I was going with that. What I'm saying is I had to really understand my fruit, and if they're good fruit, and I always say apples don't fall far from the tree. I was raised to believe that apples do not fall far from the tree. So, like, for instance, people will say, oh, you're very silly, you're very crazy, Janine. I've heard that growing up. And then when I look at the people around me, honestly, they were just as silly and as crazy as me. And not, like, that might not be the best example, but, they had their own level of silliness and their own level of kind of craziness, if you will. So, again, we were apples off the same tree. You understand what I'm saying? These were my friends. We're apples of the same tree. So, my point is just this: if I'm surrounded by all of this goodness, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe I'm from a solid, good, fruitful tree. And I see all of this goodness, coming off of the tree, but yet I feel like I'm the bad apple. I won't be on the good tree, period. And so I had to stop putting myself in that negative way. Yes, there's things I need to work on. We all have things we need to work on. There's things that I can definitely improve. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to speak negatively all the time over my situations, over top my life, over top anything that goes on in my life, my surroundings. And, like I said, if the fruit is good, I believe the tree is good. I'm coming off a good tree. So stop trying to put myself on the bad tree, in the bad surroundings, you know. And I, You know, so I was just like, wow, Janine, wow, you be doing some stuff, girl. And I feel like we do that sometimes. And it comes from, I think if, you know, and it's a choice. I really do believe it is a choice on what we say out our mouths and who we choose to surround ourselves with. It is just an absolute choice. You know, it is a choice. And I just choose not to speak so negatively over myself, over my life, over situations anymore. And if I feel like I cannot do that, I will not do that, then guess what? I'm in prayer about that. I'm really just very careful. And in these times here, again, you have situations where you can speak something very negatively, and we don't understand how that can affect the person around us. You know what I'm saying? When we're all struggling in our own ways to deal with what's happening to the world. And I choose to still believe that God is with me, that God is with us, that God is calling us, uplifting us, and showing us that just the way we choose to we're living is so far from where he wants us to be. It's a call. That's what I choose to believe. It's a call not to, say, I just, the hey with you people. I'm done with y'all. I'm so done with y'all. I don't see it that way. I see it as a call. You know, when our kids do something wrong, we have to let them know that they're being bad. And we give them the choice to correct the behavior that they find themselves in. And I see this no different than that. This is what's happening. It's a horrible situation. Yes, it is. That I don't think anybody disputes that this is just a horrible situation. But do I want to dwell on the fact that this is just a horrible situation? Oh, nobody. I could. I really could. I could go there and then some. But I choose to see it as, you know what? This is no more than my father calling me back to him. Okay, baby girl, this isn't good. You know what's going on? I need you to come back home. I need you to come back home, baby girl. You know, it's a call. So and I feel like, he says you have my umbrella of protection. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking life over this situation. I don't want to see it. People are losing their lives. That is absolutely correct. That's why I said it's not that the situation is a good situation. That is evident. It's not a good situation. People are losing their lives. But on the upside of that, you have those who are surviving. You have those who have been hit with it, tested positive for it, and they've still been able to come out of it. You know, it's a call. You know, and it's a call. This is where we at. I just want you to come back home. That choice is ours. Now, what you do with that choice is no more than death and life to me. That's how I see it. I could choose to go the road of life. I can choose to go the road of death. You know what I'm saying? I can choose to think positively about something and see some good that is coming out. And I believe there's a lot of good happening, in the midst of a crazy situation. So that's just kind of where I went this morning. I'm not going to keep you. Just kind of my thoughts. That's just kind of where my prayers went today and just kind of where I'm at. So I still want everyone to do me this favor. Really sit down, take a pen and paper out, scratch paper, whatever, notebook, whatever you do, and just really write down positive things in the midst of this crazy situation. Positive things, like what are 5 positive things that has happened to you in the midst of this crazy situation? Positive, good things, blessings. Case in point, even through this crazy situation with people losing jobs every single day. Without a bill, more and more people are applying for unemployment, need funds to help sustain them because no one is really working. A lot of people are furloughed or just lost their jobs altogether. Um, but I was able to get hired to do a job that required me to be in an office, and I'm being trained virtually to do the job. That's a positive thing. That's a blessing. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of all that, of all the crazy, that's something that, is very positive and very good. Um, in the midst of all this crazy, I'm able to spend more quality time with my family, to really listen to my children and to have a healthy conversation with them, and to really understand their worries and their happiness, to really understand those things. Because before, they will tell you, mommy was just so busy that, besides saying hi and goodbye, I love you, and getting a quick hug, I didn't have those times. That's a positive thing within this situation. The fact that I'm gonna do 5, so I did 2. We're able to still eat, and we're not starving. I believe that that's just positive. That's good. That's a blessing that we still have that ability and capability, that we're able to still nourish our bodies. That's a positive thing for me. To be able to still learn something new and to have the time to learn that something new. That's a positive thing for me. To get the rest that I have for years so needed is a positive thing for me. So again, in the midst of the crazy, we can choose to see it so negatively. But I challenge you. I challenge you. Let's choose to see some positives, some good in this, whatever that may be. And I know it's probably more than 5, but I challenge you to do 5. And let's refocus ourselves. I think, at least for me, I have put myself down so much, and I've saw myself as this bad apple. But really, am I a bad apple? No, I don't believe so. And so I challenge you, put yourself on the correct tree. And guess what? If we've chosen a life of negativity and gone a negative way, and you feel like, no, there's no hope for me, I beg to differ. Just like you chose to go down that road of negativity, of wrongdoing and wrong that, you can choose to stop, and go the other way into a life of positivity. The choice is yours. So, do you want to speak death over your life? Bad things, negative things over your life? Or do you want to choose to speak life over your life? Good things, positive things over your life. That choice is yours. And we still have it even today. So stay uplifted and encouraged. I thank you so much for spending this time with me. Be blessed. See you again.